San Diego, California, in pursuit of a stolen military vehicle. For sheer terror, nothing has surpassed the day this city was held hostage by a deranged man who went on a rampage with a 100,000-pound tank.
I'll call it the best I can. I'm trying to get this whole mess on videotape. He's in big trouble. Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
The police were able to find out that this man had armored vehicle training and had stolen this tank from a local armory. He was also known to have a history of emotional problems.
When I first heard it, I thought it was a joke.
This is bad. He's running over fire hydrants. You got hydrants that are blowing water in the air. Get your loudspeaker on, please. This is the San Diego Police Department. Everybody go back to your house and get off the street. He's doing these cars on purpose.
We heard the rumbling sound, and I saw a tank coming down the street. Thought it was a drill or something.
Cars that are following him, and I have no idea why. Oh my God. Holy moly. Yeah, he's rolling over just about anything he wants to.
I was in the locker room at the end of my shift, and I heard the call come out on the radio, so I went back and got my patrol car and headed to the area.
This is the San Diego Police Department. Get out of the street and go back in your house. You're in danger.
See if we have any SWAT equipment that can help us out with this thing.
He was coming, we just heard a crunching noise. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
It was during that time of day where people are getting off work or out of school.
He's coming up towards the school.
Okay, 10-4.
It was a lot of people here. A lot of them were just in shock.
I didn't think they would ever going to stop him unless he ran out of gas.
Somebody get a hold of the armory and find out if this thing is loaded.
The gun, he was circling while he was driving, so we thought maybe he was taking aim at something, to fire it.
And there's a tank coming down the street. That palm tree is on the front of the tank, and just as I got out in the driveway, he ran over my truck. He took out the telephone poles over there, and he headed down the street and ran over that blue car right there, and then he went back and he ran over the fire hydrant and just kept on going.
It's like a war zone over here.
And I know he hit one occupied vehicle with a family in it. They just barely escaped before the car was crushed. He hit the pole, dropped them like they were toothpicks. It just snapped them down on the ground.
Get traffic out of harm's way. This is the worst thing I think. It looks like he's going to go westbound. Get out of the way. Get out of the street. You're in danger. San Diego Police Department. These cars ain't going through that.
What kind of a person is inside this tank?
What I was told was he had served in the Army as a tank crewman. So he definitely had tank experience. He had the same school that I had gone to.
When I got behind him, it was just before he got on the 805 southbound freeway. He had tried to run over a couple of police cars that got in his way or that he could see and maneuver to, and it was still going at a good 60-mile-an-hour clip up the freeway. They called our SWAT guys to see if they had anything in their arsenal that could stop him.
They do not have the ability. They do not. That's do not.
They called the National Guard Armory to see what they could do to stop it. Those weren't viable options because the Armory was miles away by that time.
The tank comes equipped with what they call a nuclear, biological, chemical warfare system in it, which means he has fresh air to breathe, so if we used any chemical agents, they'd have no effect.
At this point, the man in the tank fell back on his military training. He decided to cut off his pursuers by putting a barrier between himself and the police. How? Knock down a bridge across the freeway.
He's going to try and take a bridge out.
Take a bridge out. Which bridge?
Able, it's a pedestrian bridge.
When he got on the freeway, he made an abrupt right turn, and he struck one of the support pillars that hold up this pedestrian footbridge. My concern was he was trying to collapse the bridge to prevent us from following him. Well, after a while, he gave up on trying to knock this pole out.
Police car, better move.
And he continued on south. One of my concerns was that he may have live ammunition on board. He might make a stand and start fighting. At this point, it looked like he's trying to maneuver the tank into the oncoming traffic, and if he had done that, we would have had a major chain reaction accident.
Oh my God. Able, he's on 805 just north of Genesee.
How do you want to handle it? Should we surround it?
Well, we're doing that as we speak. they're trying to get the hatch open right now.
The police knew that the gravest danger still lay ahead. They didn't have time to stop traffic coming down the opposite lanes of the freeway. If this man got the tank free and into those traffic lanes, the results would be horrible.
I used the bolt cutters and cut the hasp on the bolt, twisted the lock off, and opened up the hatch. At that point, we could look down in and we could see the driver. He never answered us. He looked back and he made eye contact with Paul, so he knew we were there, and he could see both Paul and I through the hatch.
Well, right now, he's trying to come undone, and the pavement underneath him is breaking up. It's possible if he keeps jerking this thing side to side, he might be able to break that pavement loose and roll again.
The tank had to be stopped right now, and the driver had to be stopped, and Paul had to get in there and take control of the tank. So I fired one round, struck him on the shoulder, and traveled diagonally down through his body, and it was an immediate fatal wound. Had he not become high center on the center divide, I have no idea what would have happened. I know the people on the other side of the freeway would have been hurt or killed because there wasn't room for that tank and all those cars over there.
A bizarre and terrible reminder of just how powerless we are.